Today's topic is crossplay. Yeah, that's the intro done. Just a short one today, as instead of wasting time with an intro, I want to tell you about a stupid little conversation I had with a colleague over Microsoft Teams instead. He asked me if I could give him my PSN ID and I was like, nope. To which he replied, that's a shame, we could play FIFA together. Then I went, I don't play FIFA. To which he asked, really? So what do you play then? Me, fighting games like Street Fighter. Then him again, isn't that like the same game every other year or so? That would be really boring for me. As I was about to go offline anyway, I didn't answer and just closed Microsoft Teams instead. How do you come up with that answer when you were just talking about FIFA of all games? So, crossplay then. Please leave a like, comment below, subscribe and hit the bell notification if you want to see more content like this. If you didn't like the video, feel free to hit the dislike button also. I do appreciate the feedback regardless. If you've watched my video on why fighting games should adopt a freemium or free-to-play model, I briefly mentioned crossplay in there as well. I didn't really go into too much detail though. In very simple terms, crossplay means that a game can be played outside of their own platform's ecosystem. Street Fighter V, for example, is available on both the PlayStation 4 and Steam. My brother, who's a PC player, has Street Fighter V on Steam. I, being a console player, have the game on PS4. But thanks to crossplay, we can still play together. Granblue Fantasy Versus is available on the exact same two platforms, but it does not feature crossplay, which means that if I'm on PlayStation 4, I will only be able to play against other people on PlayStation 4. Outside of fighting games, crossplay isn't even that uncommon anymore. Fortnite, Minecraft, Rocket League and other games already have that system in place. It costs money. Fine, in fighting games the only thing being sent back and forth are button inputs. Think about any fighting game that has a replay system. Ever wondered why you can't watch old replays once a patch has been applied? The replays operate under those same rules. They're not videos, they're just a replay of your button inputs. If a balance patch hits, those button inputs will no longer have the exact same results, which in turn means that it's no longer a replay. Why am I telling you all this? You see, because of this system, which is not a bad system at all by the way, far from it. Every match, and depending on the game, every round even, starts in the exact same way, from the exact same starting position. Fighting games are thus deterministic. Nothing, absolutely nothing else has to be taken into account for the two players to be synchronized, other than their inputs. If the exact same inputs at the exact same frames are input again, you will always, without fail, get the exact same result back. This allows for a peer-to-peer connection. P2P means that there is nothing standing between you and your opponent, like say a server. You are directly connected to your opponent. To make crossplay possible, as you have to go beyond the pool of just a single platform's ecosystem, some sort of a server is necessary, otherwise there would be no way for the game to accumulate the player pools across the different platforms. Thus, it's an extra cost and budget owners, backers, shareholders, or whoever is in charge of budget allocation tend to be stingy AF. Games like Fortnite or Minecraft already run through servers anyway. Remember the part about fighting games being deterministic? Most other genres are not. As an example, and keep in mind that I've never played Fortnite or Minecraft, so it might not exactly apply to those games, but let's take an MMO for example. I believe that Final Fantasy XIV has crossplay too. You killed a random monster. That monster dropped an item for you. But for your party member it didn't. You picked up the item while your party member drinks a potion to recover some HP that was lost fighting that random monster. This is an extremely basic example, but it's already chock full of variables. Questions like how likely is the drop rate on that item? Maybe the monster, which is not a player character, will do something different next time. Maybe the amount of damage you take differs, maybe you land more critical hits, maybe you miss more hits, or what if that monster doesn't even spawn the next time? If the monster doesn't spawn during a replay, and keep in mind we are talking about an input-based replay still, all of your inputs are senseless. In an environment where more than just the action controlled by humans has to be taken into account, servers are necessary to synchronize other aspects of the game for everyone on that server. I'm also seriously oversimplifying things here, meaning that a lot more variables would have to be accounted for. If servers already exist and costs have already been allocated towards servers for various reasons, crossplay still means extra work, which isn't free, but cost is no longer such a big factor. Subscription models like in Final Fantasy XIV or free-to-play games like Fortnite, games that have already proven themselves and make tons of money, also tend to make that decision a lot easier. Fighting games, as per usual, are more difficult to milk. Sad as it is, I don't think we will see crossplay in Japanese fighting games as a standard for quite some time to come. For one reason or another, development in Japan tends to be several years behind the curve. There are partial exceptions, of course, From Software, Arc System Works or Square Enix for example. Square Enix is actually one of the few companies that still innovates, on a technical level at least. Final Fantasy VII Remake looked and played absolutely amazing, with the exception of aerial combat, which was awful. The upcoming Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles will even feature crossplay across PS4 and Switch as well as iOS and Android. That is absolutely amazing. I don't usually talk favorably about Square Enix, but I'm seriously pleasantly surprised by this. Do I think ArcSys will add cross-platform play to Grand Blue Fantasy Versus? Do I think that they will give Guilty Gear Strive cross-platform from the start? What about Bamco and their eventual Tekken 8? While I would love to be proven wrong, I highly doubt any of this will happen. I should also add that I'm not specifically attacking Japanese devs, but rather budget allocation, time management and prioritization. Look no further than the Tales series. Granted, they were never graphical powerhouses, but seriously, the most recent releases still look like PS2 games, but in HD. I'm not just talking about graphics, but everything: animations, facial expressions, walk cycles. I've actually seen more believable animations in manga panels and they don't even move. As I'm now just ranting about Japanese developed games being stuck in the Stone Ages for the most part, I might as well just call it a day here. I can still only hope that the Riot fighting game actually does see the day of light and will seriously shake up the entire fighting game landscape. Free to play, crossplay and, well, it's developed by the Canon, so it will most definitely not have delay-based netcode. For now, I'm looking forward to playing Crystal Chronicles, which isn't a fighting game, but I can play it with all my friends, and for once, it won't matter what platform they're on, we will be able to play together, thanks to crossplay, which is really cool. What is your experience with crossplay? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and follow me on Twitch and Twitter if you frequent those platforms. The links are, as per usual, in the description down below. I thank you, once again, for watching this video all the way to the end. My name's Sasa, and I will see you in the next video.